father-son duo who took on the challenge of riding their bikes 350 miles from St. Louis to Chicago in 4 days. That is a different kind of love. It was in part to celebrate Dad's commitment to a healthier way of life after 3 open-heart surgeries. But the journey, became way more than that. It was a test of resolve, commitment, and teamwork, and you can see it all in the new PBS documentary Bike Vessel, which premieres February 24th on PBS. Everybody, please welcome Donnie and his son, who's also the filmmaker behind the project, Eric. Man, I said this in the commercial break, but 3 open-heart surgeries, that's scary.
Yeah, it was scary. It was 3 open-heart surgeries over the course of 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
I had 2 in the same year.
Oh, man. I mean, just a scary situation. Well, after that, you got into cycling. That's what kind of got you into it, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I started cycling primarily with my daughter-in-law asked me if I could play tennis with her. I had played a lot of tennis in the past, and I said, yeah, I can go out and I can play tennis.
Yeah.
That was my mind. When I got out on the court, my body not only said no, it said hell no.
Yeah, it was not in sync. Yeah.
It was tough. I was embarrassed. She knocked the racket out of my hand because she was hitting the ball so hard. I was bent over tired. But as bad as that was, I didn't realize how bad I was until Eric showed me the video of us playing. And in your mind, you can think about how you see yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But when I saw myself on film, I'm like, oh, man, I got to make a change. I decided I'm not going to go out like this.
Yeah.
And I went out the next day and I bought a bicycle.
Yeah. This is a true thing that happened. Like, this happened. My manager and I talk about it all the time. We did this show, and I didn't see myself how I was. You know, I didn't know, like, and how unhealthy. I had no, like, people are like, how do you not, you don't. Like, you just, sometimes you don't.
Right.
And it takes, I watched something, and I was like, who's that? And it was me. And I was like, I didn't even see it, right? So people don't realize that can actually, like, your mind kind of warps the reality.
Absolutely, absolutely. It scared me to the point where I went out and bought a bike. And what's strange is I only could ride the bike for half a mile around the block.
Yeah.
But over a period of time, I started increasing my distance. So that's how I started my whole health journey.
Yeah, okay. So Eric, you're the one who came up with the idea, right? The 350-mile ride. So you ride a lot?
I didn't until I filmed him. So that first clip when he was playing tennis with my wife, that was just home videos. I was just recording it. I was actually recording it because I needed to prove that she won. Because you know how stories change over time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, let me record it. And so that's when I shared it with him.
I already love your family. Okay. Yeah.
And so I'm recording him. He's like, you know, I made it a mile today. Then he made it 10 miles. And I was just following him on this journey. And at that point, it wasn't a documentary. But as I was watching him, I'm like, this dude is 65 years old, changing his life. What am I doing? So at that point, I bought a bike, and we started riding together every Saturday. And so I was changing my life with him. So eventually we hit the 5-year mark, and I'm like, we got to do something. And he's like, well, what do you want to do? Just like a 2-day ride? I'm like, no. Let's ride from St. Louis to Chicago. And he's like, that sounds like a horrible idea.
Yeah. It sounds like it hurts my butt thinking about it. Yeah, that's my whole problem with bikes. I'm like, oh no. So wait, 4 days later, Donnie and Eric completed what turned into a 380-mile journey with friends and family cheering them on. Take a look.
This is way too much.
Congratulations, sir.
Oh, man. It just took me several minutes to compose myself. I'm realizing I did this thing. We finished it.
You did it! You did it! Oh, babe!
Y'all worked hard on this.
Couldn't make it without you, dog. I went from riding my bike around the block, winded, legs burning, to riding from St. Louis to Chicago.
Wow. You have such a beautiful, supportive family, first of all. What's happening in your head right then?
You know, I didn't know that was happening. Eric kept telling me that, hey, we got to get to the lakefront at this time because the sun's setting, we got to take these pictures and that sort of thing. But when I saw all the people at the finish, it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't often get emotional, but I got very emotional. I think I've seen Bike Vessel at least 15 times.
Yeah.
And every time I see it, I get emotional when I see this scene.
Because it's beautiful. And to do
Thank
something
you.
like that with your son, that's so beautiful. What about you? What were you thinking?
It was amazing. What was weird for me was that was the first time I ever saw my dad cry. You know, this generation of men.
Open up!
Yeah, they don't cry as much. And so,
Yeah.
you know, after that, he was just overwhelmed, and he just had to sit there and I was proud of him. You know, he changed his life. He's not a doctor. He's not a health nutritionist. He's someone who wanted to make a difference in his life, and he did it by one step at a time.
And inspiring everyday people that they can do that. Yeah. How are you feeling today?
I'm living my best life right now. I think back to, I was taking 20 pills or so. I remember my cardiologist telling me, cycling is your medication. So today I'm riding 30, 40, 50-mile rides on a regular. I'm playing pickleball twice a week.
Yeah. Just being active.
I go to the gym twice a week and do strength training. I'm going to continue this journey. I'm very excited where I'm at, but I need to continue to grow. I want to be there for my wife, my kids, my grandkids.
Yeah.
I also want to be able to take that occasional shot of tequila.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this cutie. You deserve the celebration. You deserve that shot. You've earned it. Well, Bike Vessel debuts on PBS February 24th as part of their Black History Month celebration. We're going to be right back with What I'm Liking.